How will this mandate from the German government affect businesses? This is also one of the key points. Businesses are going to have to change. What is the main impact on businesses in Germany?
Yes, as we briefly introduced in the previous slides, first of all, the format will be changed. So during the transition phase, different formats will be able to use, but in general, the standard for the electronic invoices will be shifted to EN 16931 standards, Ex-Rechnung, PEPOL-Bis, or Zugwert. So these formats will be the main formats that will be supported in Germany e-invoicing system. On the other hand, from the implementation deadline perspective, starting from 1st of January 2025, as we said, all companies must be ready to receive EN standard e-invoices. This is also a critical impact on the businesses. So the businesses should configure their systems for receiving EN standard e-invoices. During the transition phase, as we shown in the previous slides, paper invoices will be phased out. So issuing paper invoices will be prohibited after the transition period, with key milestones for larger companies, January 2027, for smaller companies, January 2028. So starting from these days, paper invoices will not be able to use. During the transition period, actually, the companies may have some flexibility. During the transition phase, businesses can exchange invoices based on the agreements, bilateral agreements with the supplier and the buyer. So if they adhere to the general timelines, they can use different formats during this transition period. However, if the supplier wants to send EN standard format, then you have to accept these invoices even in the transition period. Finally, we have the supplier autonomy. The suppliers no longer need buyer consent to send e-invoices if they comply with the European Union standard. So in this respect, the buyer consent is not searched. So if your supplier sends in European Union standard format, then you have to accept it according to current mandate. In addition to these points, there are some additional points that the companies should consider. The system provides some flexibility because the long transition period requires systems and access points processes to be adaptable to handle various formats. So the companies should have this flexibility. They have a flexible system that can accept different formats and that can process these different formats invoices. Also, from the compliance requirement perspective, EDI and point-to-point connections will still be permitted during the transition phase. However, during the end of the transition phase, these formats should be compatible with the EN standardizations. From the email invoicing continuity, invoices currently sent via email as PDFs file. So Zugwert invoices has a PDF and XML files together. It is embedded, XML file is embedded in the PDF file. So these Zugwert formats it is compliant with the EN standard. So using the Zugwert format, the email invoicing can be used. Cross-border invoicing will not be affected by the current mandate because it is not in scope. However, if your company has this flexibility, you will be able to send invoices to the cross-border invoicing as well. For the B2G invoicing, currently it is implemented in Germany, so it will remain unchanged. Finally, for tax reporting, while tax reporting remains the same for now, according to our perspective, the VIDA initiative will address it around 2030. So starting from these days, probably the VIDA initiative will also be implemented in Germany for tax reporting. However, during the transition phase, the tax reporting will remain the same. There will be no change for tax reporting during the transition.